tournaments together at the professional level to launch it, and Dylan Frazier never looked back. He will be our first server of this one, and the Johns brothers leading the series 9-2. Dylan Frazier right away coming out hot on the right. Gabe Tardio has created a little bit of a template for players to model on the right side, especially when it comes to alleviating the pressure of Ben and Collin.
100%, yeah. Folks are not afraid to go after Ben Johns anymore. Testing his hands over and over again.
And these two train a lot with Gabe Tardio.
But there is evidence, the improvement of Collin Johns wanting to get in some of these hands battles. Not backing off, not just resetting.
Rare miss third for Collin Johns. They were robbed, so they felt, of a title last weekend in Virginia Beach.
You saw a lot of speed ups in the women's final. You're going to see a lot of drawn out dinking battle points like this.
They're so patient on the side of JW and Dylan to work the point. There's the flick wizard doing what he does best.
With such fast hands, if you're the Johns brothers against Johnson and Frazier, you're wanting to slow things down, speeding up on your own terms.
Great counter. Ooh, almost got it. Lob was mixed in by JW Johnson. Ben Johns over the read.
If you thought the women's final took a long time, this one could be even longer.
Seen some lengthy battles between these two. Just deep for JW Johnson, and the Johns brothers are on the board. Dylan Frazier frustrated after the miss into the tape.
Yeah, Ben and Collin doing such a great job of methodically moving to that kitchen line, climbing that ladder that we spoke about yesterday, rung after rung. It might take 2, 3, 4 shots to move through that transition zone.
Right at the body of Dylan Frazier goes Ben Johns, testing his limits on the perimeter.
Yeah, that backhand flick. I know we call JW the flick wizard, but Ben Johns, he coined that unbelievable backhand flick. Still, in my opinion, the best in the game. A decent margin.
And a slew of errors on the side of Johnson and Frazier. The lead slips away from their side. Just short on the ATP for Ben Johns.
And those that watch Ben and Collin Johns a lot, you'll see Collin a little bit more over to the middle than usual. New style for them, not allowing Ben to take so much court.
Punish the paddle of JW Johnson. These two have 10 men's doubles titles together. Second to only the Johns brothers.
Short, compact there out of Ben Johns, so stable.
A bit of firepower.
Oh, yeah. If you're watching this match for a ton of emotion, a ton of outbursts, you're not going to see it. This is for the pickleball purist. It's about the strategy.
And for the non-pickleball purists new to the game, how would you explain what that means and applies to this match?
Yeah, this match is all about finding tiny little openings. When can I pick and choose my time to be aggressive? Anything left up from these guys is going to be attacked. So they really have to be so careful when they pick and choose their moments. You're going to see long dink rallies like this. Yep, waiting. Not going to pull the trigger sometimes, pull the other. Have to make sure that you're disguising things. A very heady match.
That's nice. Dylan Frazier snipes that line.
Again, there's such a difference between a dink that's left an inch off the mark, like that one. Dylan Frazier able to reach in.
A lot of firepower from J.W. Johnson. I like that he's on the attack,
Yes.
too.
He needs to take over. He can't be timid today. Gotta fire.
Oh, missed JTP for Ben Johns. Little right off the tape. He's in the position to do it. And also, J.W. Johnson just casually throwing his paddle out and getting every counter.
All four of these players making it look way too easy.
A patient point.
For that round of 16, though, down 9-6 in the third. CJ Klinger, Huang Duong got it done, though, 11-9.
Oh, Frazier couldn't get his paddle out of the way. John's brothers tie it up.
John's fortunate to get out of that point. Dylan doing a great job on the right side of reaching in that backhand flick, causing all kinds of havoc. A lot of these dinks are meant to bait the opponent into something, just like that one there. Left a little high by J.W. Johnson. Dylan Frazier knows that ball's coming attacked at his chest, ready for the counter.
All over it, Ben Johns, reading the play beautifully.
Unbelievable point and no emotion, just moving on to the next. Obviously not much separating these two teams here in game one, but if there is anything, I think pulling the trigger of the #1 seeds first, allowing the ball to be on their paddle as opposed to the 2 seeds Johnson and Frazier. I think that's been the difference.
Yeah.
Johnson and Frazier a little bit more timid in their attacks, waiting for the onslaught to be brought to them. Clearly not working at the moment.
To that point, that's where Gabe Tardio has caused a lot of disruption for the Johns brothers. He's been haunting them in the bracket a couple of times now this season. Brings that offense right down the line at Ben.
Anna Lee spoke in her post-match about how other teams are pushing them to be better. Obviously, that's happened a ton on the men's side. These teams forcing Ben and Collin to change the way they play. Forcing Collin is a more aggressive style.
Collin was looking to attack there too. Johnson and Frazier remain patient.
Ben with such a good spot there, right at the feet. Not just about power, placement, getting it down.
No hesitation that time.
None at all.
Quick shuffle step and a block right through the legs for the side out. Head right into the arms of J.W. Johnson.
You noticed on the women's side of things, a lot of overheads coming back, extended points. Yeah. You leave something high for these guys. It is good night, Irene.
That's why you see so much of the dinking here.
Yep. That can take a while, but what they're trying to do there is find that one ball that sits maybe an inch or two high that they can attack.
Ooh. Trickler off the tape. J.W. Johnson will accept the break.
couple months ago, you would have seen Collin just reset all of those balls. Now they're counters.
Yeah.
It's a different feeling when you're playing the Johns now.
John's not pleased with himself there. 9-all tie game. Johnson and Frazier right back in it. Firefights, that's what we'd like to see, and Ben Johns wins at that time.
Ben placing himself squarely in the center of the court. Nothing is going to go by him there in a firefight.
Ooh, it's an unbelievable reset from Ben Johns. Squarely hooked over the net. Good pressure from Collin. Johns on the attack, drives it straight ahead to take the first. 11-9, Johns brothers up a game on J-Dub and Dylan.
Steady.
Guaranteed pickleball play every week. No hassle, no paddle stacking lines, no worries. Join a pickleball league today and up your game with competitive, consistent, well-matched play. Connect with your local leagues, check live rankings on your phone, and play with ease. Whether you're there to socialize with your community, network across the net, or have fun playing your favorite sport, leagues are a stress-free way to enjoy your play. Find your closest league at pickleball.com and click Leagues today to get started.
Ben Johns with currently 137 titles across the board in all divisions. And there's that roll shot that he has patented since he has taken over.
He can beat you on the outside there, that chicken wing, beautiful. That game one reminds me, if you want to compare it to tennis a little bit, like playing Pete Sampras. You're 4-all, you feel like you're in the entire first set, and then 4-all, he just breaks you, gets it out 6-4, you don't even know what happened.
Yeah, sneak up on you.
You think you were right there, you were in it, you played a good game, but all of a sudden you're in a hole.
It's too good from Ben Johns, covering his wing. Time with the two-handed backhand counter. That miss for J.W. Johnson. Right to the corner, beautifully played by Dylan Frazier. The Johns brothers in a full scramble.
I like that lob by J.W. Johnson, adding a new element to his game.
Ben Johns thought he had that one high to the backhand side. Dylan Frazier testing the limits down the line. growl from Collin Johns on the miss. Smart placement for Frazier. Defense to offense. Johnson and Frazier survive.
Great ATP by Ben. I think Collin needed to be a little more ready to put that away there.
Lobs up. Well scooted out of the way by Collin Johns. Gets his body out, paddle out in front. Gets the counter. Like this lob, though, from JW Johnson. It's effective.
They've started to dink a lot more in the direction of Collin Johns, waiting for their opportunity. Collin there, I thought, had a ball on the forehand side that he could have pulled the trigger on. Again, maybe a little bit of a bait. JW going out in the next shot. Ill advised at a JW Johnson. Collin Johns all over that. Yeah, seemed to peak at different times.
What adjustment do you expect to see on the side of JW and Dylan?
It's a great question. I think they're going to have to target Collin a little bit more, be more aggressive, attack on their terms, not wait for it to be brought to them. Very difficult, though, because Ben and Collin keep these things so low in such great positions. They suffocate you. And JW, the way he kind of scoops that forehand dink, doesn't allow him to attack off the forehand side as much as he can. And that's certainly not going to get it done.
5-2-1.
Just long for JW Johnson, looking to create some offense. And right now in the rankings map, top 16 men will advance in December's final. Collin Johns at the top of the list.
Not surprising. Played a few more events than Ben.
I took some flack, though, this season where people were questioning whether or not Ben should jump ship and in a new partnership. He said, I'm loyal to my brother. In great sense. Quick and efficient counter.
I had a good conversation yesterday with someone who said, look, when Ben and Collin decide to change that strategy and change how they play, it's not going to happen overnight that they can just play this new aggressive style and win against the best in the world. It'll take time. You're seeing that come out into play here in Vegas.
And then net for Frazier, and it was Dylan Frazier who actually held the #1 ranking for a while this season. They were on their hot streak midway through the year. Scramble from Frazier and JW Johnson.
Great speed-ups by both Ben and Collin there.
Yes, sir.
If you want to learn how to dink, just watch this entire match. How controlled, how low everyone is. Not using the wrist, it's all hinging from the shoulder.
JW Johnson says thank you very much. Set up by the pressure of Dylan Frazier.
Ben just turning around on that overhead, knows it's not coming back. He's hoping he didn't get hit.
High. And Ben couldn't get out of the way of it.
In the face. Right on the hat. Square on that yellow sign. I like that driving crash there from Dylan. Obviously needing to change something here.
3-2.
JW Johnson integrating that strategy as part of his game against the Johns brothers.
Clear frustration out of Johnson Frazier, but it's great that the PPA is fostering this junior talent.
Collin Johns with a last-second adjustment gets the ball down as he does so well and effectively. Game point quickly for the Johns brothers. Ball was out. Quick work for the world #1. Ben and Collin Johns take the second, and they are one game away from landing their 7th. Frazier in this men's doubles championship round, and the Johns brothers have won 3 out of the 4 finals against this duo. Michelle McMahon, Matt Manassi with you. Down to the
There we
feet.
go. A little bit of offense from J.W. Johnson. I'd like to see some of these balls that are sitting out wide to his back, and especially if they're sitting dinks, they're up and down, for him to move around and maybe take a couple of forehands a la Jack Sock. He's got to change something. Be more aggressive.
Well, they have the ability to, these two,
100%.
and the hand speed to challenge the Johns brothers. And the thing that Julie shared with me about Gabe Tardio's success is that he creates speed ups out of nothing. You can't expect it. Speed ups in offense, so it makes it difficult to read, and that's where he's challenged the Johns brothers.
Yeah, Frazier and Johnson are allowing the Johns to get into that rhythm at the kitchen line, dinking slowly.
And to add to that point, she said these two have the ability to do it. She would like to see more of that offense and that initiation from them.
It's not going to happen just waiting and dinking. He's got it, JW. He's got to move around these balls and create. Has to take some risks.
Through the middle goes JW Johnson, a little motion from Dylan Frazier. You'll never see it from JW Johnson, but
I wish we would. Again, both Johnson and Frazier are two not great attacks off the backhand side. Can't add that second hand to the paddle, the two-handed speed up.
incredible defense from Collin Johns.
That's what he's known for, and then allowing Ben to turn defense into offense and in a hurry.
Oh, Collin Johns backed up off the line and still getting it done and getting the ball down.
I think J.W. Johnson relying too much on that flick, too much on the hand speed, not enough on adjusting the footwork, staying mobile with the body. And there's an example, a scoop dink out of Frazier. I'd like to see him look to be more offensive here on one of these dinks through the middle.
That's deep for Frazier, all thanks to the pressure of Ben Johns down the line. How about this for a record, Matt? Since the start of 2023, 18-3 is the title match record for Ben Johns and Collin Johns. Only 3 losses and 21 title appearances.
Play their best on Sundays.
said, watch it.
Much better footwork adjustment there out of JW. Following that ball, not just allowing the flick to do it, but the feet as well.
Line for Collin Johns. Johnson and Frazier inching back in.
Again, baiting Dylan Frazier into that ball there. Not really attackable, leaning in so much, off balance.
Such a cranky out call by Collin Johns.
Extremely cranky.
Just wide for JW.
Almost angry they even tried that shot. I think wasn't high enough.
4-3-1.
It's a new talent now with how fast the paddles are, all these counters to get out of the way, when to know a ball's going out. Also something these two work on.
Oh, just back, but that was the shot.
Would like to see a little bit more chaos. Maybe a little more emotion as well.
Where could the chaos come? Like, where are the opportunities in this
Some
match?
more drives and crashes. Collin and Ben both reset so well. They're the best in the world at it.
No doubt about that. Point and case, right on cue.
So there, Ben, 3 incredible resets. All right, we're going to try to go to Collin. And then he blasts it. Little body back. And just like that, 2 points away.
9-3-1.
And a match point for the Johns brothers in 53 minutes time.
10-3-1.
It's good. Jamie Johnson wanted that a moment ago. Got it there.
I think they were trying to get to 100.
Felt like it anyway.
Let's see if we can get to 100 dinks in a row, and then we can speed it up. That'll be the drill.
JW Johnson finds some offense. They've been needing a little more of that chaos,
Yes.
as you said.
That one sat up a little high from Collin Johns. That's what we've been wanting, I think, a little too late.
Oh, ball didn't bounce up as high as Ben was expecting. Scooting to the kitchen.
Tried to be a little too cute with that, a little too demure.
Can't miss that one. Championship point number 2. And match secured. Ben and Collin Johns are the back-to-back champions of Vegas, and they dinked them to death.
They did indeed. Methodical.
Gentlemen, just the game you wanted to play. You dinked them to death. This is how you want a match to go. How do you feel about your play out there today?
It was really solid, I think. You know, they're a very good team, great hands. They get to the kitchen a lot, so I felt like we played a lot of, slow kitchen line points. The ball being soft, I think, was definitely important. So really just kind of waiting for counters and playing solid points from there. Collin was getting a hold of a lot of backhand counters and digging some stuff, so clean match, I think.
It's crazy to say it because you guys played so often last year, but this is the first time you faced that team this year. Does a lot of memory come back as you're playing them out there, or was it pretty much the same game plan? What was going on out there?
Yeah, I feel like we have a pretty good game plan against them, but I mean, congrats to them making a final. They've had a few down weeks, and we've been there this season. We had a few down weeks. We love playing against that team. They play our sort of by-the-book style, so we hope to play them more this year.
Well, this is what you guys do for a living, but how important is it to keep that element of fun and enjoyment in the sport that you love so much and your profession?
It's extremely important. Yeah, you definitely don't want to burn out. So do what we can to make pickleball fun. Play some lefty games. We play some paddle. We got a session in while we were here. So some other sports and some fun pickleball.
Congratulations, guys, on yet another title. And now we're going to bring our friends from Rate, Andrew Pullman, on court to present your trophy.
So Collin, right before the match, you said you were going to make up some time, which I think you did. Yeah, we like to think of ourselves as the fastest, easiest mortgage process in the industry. That wasn't easy, but it was certainly fast how you finished. So thank you, Carvana PPA Tour. We're so excited to be here again. And for the second year in a row, I get to present both of you the Rate Championship Trophy. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hannah, thanks so much. What a moment for the Johns brothers back on top. Coming up next for us, we turn our attention to the women's singles final. It's Kate Fahey and Brooke Buckner, who both competed for the University of Michigan in tennis.